A tourism ambassador and an advocate for Ghanaian culture, Brandina Jagba Hupati, known in the tourism industry as Mama Africa, has urged the players in the Ghanaian movies to portray African wear in their films. She said this is the best way to project the African culture to the outside world, especially when it comes to dressing. Mama Africa made this statement in an interview with Nation One TV at a gathering of filmmakers and producers in Accra over the week. The gathering, dubbed Return Conversation, brought the industry players together to deliberate on important issues concerning the industry. She admonished her colleagues not to consider the material or the sources, but should rather focus on the style for which the material is used for.
Attended the written conversation regarding music and film industry. Over there, I tried to put a conversation across. Recently, there was a China delegation in the country. They want to buy a Ghanaian movie based on our culture, the way we dress, and the way we live. So the first question they asked me, the way I dress and the way I live, is that what they portray in the film? And I said yes. So quickly, I had to push them to my manager from GTA, that is Kakra, because when the question comes, he will be able to face it. Because I'm not 100% sure that all our things is based on our culture and the way we live. So today during the conversation return, I tried to cut it across, which Amabebe said wasn't getting right. Simply because we are talking about how our film can be sold out there to the diaspora. I have been out there traveling cut across, stayed school in France. My in-laws are all in France, and they carry the image of Ghana in a white skin. Why am I saying this? They really love our culture, the way we dress, the way we live. This is what these white people love about Ghanaians. So when we are talking about fashion, France is the number one. And somebody from France, which is my in-law, always buying Ghanaian product, forgetting about their designer wear. So we should know what we carry as a Ghanaians and be proud about that. So when I tried to put this question across, she got angry and saying the materials and whatever we use all over is made in China. They are not talking about the material. They are talking about the finishing product. They are talking about our culture. And this is what they want to buy. So if you are out there, listen to me. I really want us to start portraying our culture in our movie, just like the Black Panther. I didn't want to watch that film, but I watched it simply because of the way they portray the culture. So we should start doing something. Go and watch Nigerian film. The way they go to their grassroots, this is what the people want to buy. Please listen to me. It is not what we have as a material, but we are talking about how we brand it, the finishing product. This is what they want to see in our movie. So please, those Chinese that came in, I pray that the film they are buying from Ghana, they want to see the way I dress, the way we portray our culture. So please, whosoever is listening to me, watching me, let's value our culture, let's add value to it and market it to the diaspora. Together we can push our domestic film and fashion industry forward. Thank you. I am.
When we converge, let's try and share ideas so that we can all have a win-win partnership. It is time to grow Africa together. The emancipation is not just for what we think it is. Economically, we must emancipate. I thank you for your attention. Let's use film, music, and the arts to grow our economies in Africa.
The Chief Executive Officer for Ghana Tourism Association, Mr. Akwesi Ajama, who also spoke to the media, said music and films are the best avenue to promote tourism. He explained that the conference is part of the Panfest and Emancipation. He added that through such programs, people in diaspora have visited and established themselves in this country.
So who said, you cannot tourism, a music film near the tourism, even advertisers, film producers, and cameramen, into music in the film there, and no any other tourism, into another ye jaho. We know a push here, and I send any panaba almost to the who said, you are this say or Ghana, almost so I very comfortable, said, almost so beba, yeah, the air said, Nipan Baba, Quabas Abbey, Ebiaba, Abiyan Ghanaians, Ebiaba, Abasetia businesses, Sunny
On the panel discussion, when I was growing up, I used to be influenced with a lot of reggae and rock and roll, also country music. Amidst the highlight music that was being played in my home and also that I went to. However, it's very important for music to be well placed in our educational system, because if you have an understanding of music as a talent growing up, you'll be able to become the best asset as you are, because you have the understanding, you have the foundation, you have the groundation, as I like to use that word, groundation, because you are rooted in it, it's grounded in you. You've been educated, you've been taught how to learn to play an instrument, you've learned the musical notes. So you're not just singing because you feel like you woke up one day and you have a good voice and you want to sing in the shower, but you've actually sat down and taken some classes, or somebody has actually sat you down and educated you on what it means to be able to play an instrument or to read music or to be able to study it in general. So I think education in music is key, is 100%. We need to bring it back in our school systems. I went to Addis Ababa College. I remember when I went to Fort 1, we used to have one of the best boy bands, school bands in the
Calling for regulations. Because you have producers come here from Nigeria, they come and lodge in a hotel, book it for 12 days, shoot for 10 days, they finish, they pack their things and go without paying the hotel, the owner. Yes, at 5 Park we had hotel owners, taxi drivers, food vendors coming to us with all these complaints. Yeah. So all that we were asking for were just regulations. If you come, let us know you, who you are, how much money you have. Make sure that yes, you have the funding. You pay them. Most artists were not even paid. They finish working and they leave them. So it has never been the case that we're closing our doors. No.
Lands and everything, but here to experience live music. And it's of value because here's a festival. He's doing a festival because he knows the value of live music. And for me, I've played a lot of festivals. And to be honest, I just played a huge festival Saturday. Came here last night playing. I'm heading to Salvador Bahia this Saturday to play another concert over there. And it's all because of live performances. People seeing you play, and then you get booked. And that is how we spread our music, the real way. And then the rest we put on top of it to magnify and catalyze what we are already doing. So let's focus. If even it's 5 years, you know, we are not competing with anybody. You know, once we have an action plan and we start working, harnessing, identifying the clubs that are here that can be real clubs that can host and have musicians play live. Then the ecosystem starts supporting. The radio needs to also play Ghanaian music, because if you don't play it, people will not patronize it. So if you play local content, people will patronize it. The club people will make money. The artists will be well paid. Then all of a sudden we're creating a musical economy.
Continue. If we're going to discuss this, what's the action plan? What are the solutions? We are all part of the solution. Everybody here is part of the solution. So these artists are there pushing. They are doing it. I've mentioned names, but we need to support them. We need to make sure we have a system that works,
that can support them for them to continue pushing that agenda, or else it will get to a point they will be tired. They won't be able to do it anymore. Shout out to Rocky, he's here. He's been doing it single-handedly for how many years now, Rocky? Over 20, 30 years. You know? Exactly. With 3 Grammy nominations. But even when he was nominated, the very first one, how many of us were blogging about it? How many of us were talking about it? You were a presenter. You understand? Who is talking about it? Who is supporting that agenda? But those who nominated him are also expecting us to be saying something, to be seeing something. That is, yeah. Because if they don't see it, then he might not get a 4th nomination. But trust me, the 4th one is going to be a really strong
Stick and told you to break the stick, you could probably break it fairly easy. But if I gave you 100 sticks and I told you to break them, it's going to be a little difficult. So collectively, I think the idea from the beginning, right, you know, is they see our greatness, but a lot of times we have an issue seeing the greatness in us. Right? So by them keeping us divided or confused or distracted, right? So music, as my brother, you know, PY said, is very important, but be careful about the music you're listening to.
Absolutely.
Because we're not controlling what you're hearing, what you're listening to, what's being programmed, what's being streamed, what's being pushed out. You know, one of the biggest hip-hop groups of all time was NWA. In the 80s can say, fuck the police, and that gets on the radio.
But I also feel like if we don't start here, the connectivity, nobody's gonna do it for us. And at the end of the day, it's like you can teach all day and you can preach all day and you can have conversations about the connectivity all day. But until you execute a plan.
Visit Ghana. When you come, I'm glad that everyone here now, everyone has a camera of some sort in your hand, or you have a big camera or whatever. When you come to Ghana, shoot in Ghana. But most importantly, when you shoot in Ghana and the world sees it, then the world will want to come and visit Ghana. Ghana is beautiful. As we work to position Ghana, we talk about all the beautiful sites that Ghana holds. This takes my mind to even the recent example I can give, which is Game of Thrones. Now, we all know that over 70% of the forts and castles that exist in Africa actually are in Ghana. And so for me, anytime I sit down and I watch a film like, or a series like Game of Thrones or whatever, then I'm like, oh my God, Ghana should have been well positioned to be the place where this is shot. There was a particular town in Scotland that had to close down because tourism numbers were so high that they had to close down just because everyone wanted to see those forts and castles that were in the Game of Thrones. So these all give us a very good reason to understand why Ghana is working, you know, under, of course, our head, which is the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, and in partnership with our sister agency, GTA, to help position Ghana favorably so that we get the right visits. When the right visits come and the shoots come, these are the things that will create the jobs and attract the kind of monies that we want.
Thank you for watching Nation One TV. Kindly subscribe for more news updates.